Did you know that empty growth peaked at 27% in 2020? Cathie Wood, a renowned investor, reveals that it has been slowing ever since and may be below 3% on a year-over-year basis. This is a critical matter that many people are unaware of, but it could significantly impact the economy. And in this video, we are going to talk about what Cathie Wood think about what's coming, which could be worse than a recession. Hey friends, welcome to Capitalista. Before we dive in, please take a moment to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. Cathie Wood is concerned that velocity is not picking up and individuals and businesses are spending less freely. In other words, the rate at which money turns over is not increasing, which is causing a slow economy. She thinks this is getting so serious that we are reaching a cathartic moment, and the Fed may be making a mistake in taking a sledgehammer approach to inflation. In addition, this sudden increase in interest rates is shocking the system, and US government bonds are being sold even though deflationary pressures are mounting all over the place. As a result, we may be witnessing a financial crisis, which will impact both pension funds and banks. The Federal Reserve is taking a sledgehammer approach to inflation, similar to what Chairman Volcker did in the past. However, this approach may be a mistake. Inflation today is caused primarily by major shocks to the system, not by embedding inflation expectations. The sudden increase in interest rates is shocking to the system, especially given how long interest rates have been low. This approach is much bigger than what Chairman Volcker did, dealing with double-digit interest rates. In addition, Wood thinks that the Fed may be overreacting to this current situation. Interest rates have been low for a very long time, and this sudden increase is causing a financial crisis in pension funds and banks. The Fed is causing duress in all markets. As a result, the most liquid assets such as government bonds are being sold, even though deflationary pressures are mounting. The situation is becoming so serious that it is reaching a cathartic moment. Japan and China are providing dollar liquidity to the rest of the world. It remains to be seen how this situation will play out, but the Fed's approach may be misguided. Cathie Wood thinks that the current inflation is not caused by embedded inflation expectations but by major shocks to the system. The shocks such as the global pandemic, supply chain problems, and Russia's invasion of Ukraine have caused a sharp increase in interest rates that is shocking the system, particularly since interest rates have been low for a very long time. This is different from the inflation that Chairman Volcker tackled, which was built over 15 years of rogue fiscal and monetary policies. Wood argues that Chairman Powell's sledgehammer approach to inflation, which is much bigger than what Volcker did, is inappropriate for the current situation. The Fed's policy is likely to cause serious financial and other ramifications. Wood believes that the situation is becoming so serious that we are reaching a cathartic moment. The guilt trip, as she calls it, may have started with the shocks to the system but is now leading to a financial crisis that could spread to other markets. Japan and China are already intervening to limit the weakening of their currencies, providing dollar liquidity to the rest of the world. Chairman Powell is taking an approach larger than Chairman Volcker's double-digit interest rates. The Fed is using a sledgehammer to address inflation. While Chairman Volcker had to deal with inflation building up for 15 years, this is a 15-month problem. The situation is serious and it may have started with the guilt trip. The global economy has been experiencing historically low interest rates for a long time. However, things are starting to shift and interest rates are rising. This sudden increase is significantly impacting the financial system, causing shockwaves that are being felt around the world. One of the most significant consequences of rising interest rates is its impact on pension funds. Pension funds have been using derivatives and taking shortcuts to try and match their liabilities with assets. However, this is no longer a viable strategy with rising interest rates. As a result, pension funds are deleveraging, which is causing them to sell off assets. This in turn puts pressure on the bond market, particularly government bonds, and despite deflationary pressures mounting all over the place, these bonds are being sold. This shift in policy is not something that's happening in isolation. Other countries are also trying to support their currencies, which is creating a lot of uncertainty in the global economy. As I've mentioned earlier, Japan and China are providing dollar liquidity to the rest of the world, but it remains to be seen whether this will be enough to stave off the impending crisis. The noted investor Cathie Wood has recently highlighted that US government bonds are being sold despite the mounting deflationary pressures. This could result in a potential financial crisis. Japan and China provide dollar liquidity to the rest of the world by selling dollars and buying back the yen, thereby limiting the weakening of the yuan. This action contrasts with what the Federal Reserve should be doing in the United States. Cathie Wood's warning should not be taken lightly, as she had been known to make accurate predictions in the past. As the Fed raises interest rates, the situation may become even more serious. Cathie Wood says we are reaching a cathartic moment, and it might have started with what she calls a guilt trip. Wood believes that the Federal Reserve's monetary policy is causing severe problems in the financial system. She points out that M2 growth has been slowing down and maybe below 3% on a year-over-year basis, and that velocity is not picking up, which means people are spending less freely. According to Wood, the Fed may be making a mistake in taking a sledgehammer approach to inflation, as Chairman Volcker did in the past. She argues that the inflation we are experiencing today is caused primarily by major shocks to the system, not by embedding inflation expectations. The sudden increase in interest rates is shocking to the system, especially given how long interest rates have been low. This is causing problems in the financial system as pension funds and banks are deleveraging, leading to the selling of the US government bonds even though deflationary pressures are mounting everywhere. Wood believes that this situation is becoming so serious that we are reaching a cathartic moment. The cathartic moment is a moment of intense emotional release which is often accompanied by a feeling of relief. It is a moment when people let go of the old and embrace the new. The guilt trip that Wood refers to may be the feeling of guilt many people have about the state of the economy. It may also be the guilt that the Fed is feeling about the situation as it tries to control inflation. In conclusion, Wood's warning about the seriousness of the situation in the economy is something that we should all take seriously. We are reaching a cathartic moment, and it may be the time to let go of the old ways and embrace the new. So, do you agree with Cathie Wood, and what do you think you should do to protect yourself from this upcoming crisis? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And that's it for this video. Make sure to show your appreciation by giving a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and turning on notifications. This way you'll always be in the loop and never miss out on any of our uploads. Until next time, and take care.